Welcome to the Military Meditation Coach. This episode of meditation is guided by Army Captain Dr. Fawn Walter, a psychologist at Madigan Army Medical Center. The views expressed here are those of the presenters and do not reflect the official policy of the Department of Defense or the United States government. The Military Meditation Coach podcast is produced by the Defense Health Agency in collaboration with the Navy Bureau of Medicine and Surgery. You can learn more about us and get in touch on Facebook and Twitter at Military Health.
Let's get started with this mindfulness practice by settling into a comfortable position, which might be sitting, might be lying down. Really allow yourself to settle in, making sure your hands are in a comfortable position. And if you're sitting upright, making sure your posture allows for your breath to flow easily. Feel free to close your eyes or to let your gaze rest gently on an object just below your direct line of sight. You're not focusing on whatever is in front of you, you're just resting your gaze. As we continue to settle into this self-compassion practice, we aren't trying to do anything, we're just trying to be aware of our surroundings and alert, but also relaxed and comfortable. Once you've settled in and feel comfortable, we'll turn our focus to our breath. Breathing deeply into your diaphragm, allowing the breath in to be long and slow, letting the abdomen expand naturally. As you're breathing, feeling more comfortable, noticing your nervous system starting to wind down, I want you to intentionally start to elongate your exhalation. When we do this, letting the exhale be longer than the inhale, we notice that our whole body starts to just wind down. Continuing to breathe through your belly, letting the exhale be a bit longer than the inhale. Noticing when your mind starts to wander off to other things. That's what minds do. They continue to work even when we don't want them to. Just gently refocus your attention on your breath again and again as your focus shifts elsewhere. As we continue to become more mindful, warming up our attention and awareness, begin to notice the sounds around you. You might notice sounds that are in the room with you, maybe the ticking of a clock or the hum of a fridge or a heater. There may even be others nearby moving about the room. Just pay attention to the sounds, not focusing on any one specific sound, but all of them. Now, start to notice the sounds that are far away. Try to pick up on noises that are far off, outside of the room around you, like cars or lawnmowers. Whatever it is, just notice the sounds. Let all of the sounds, both in the room with you and far away, blend together. Let the sound be as it is, not frustrating or disruptive, just sound. Bringing your attention back to my words, noticing the sound but also the meaning of my words as the sounds of my voice string together to make sentences. So we'll start by thinking of a time recently when something didn't go as you expected it to or how you wanted it to. It was maybe something small like being late to a meeting, or maybe you were a little rude to a friend or a loved one when you were feeling frustrated. It could also be something bigger, something more important to you, like not performing as well as you wanted to, or not making the right impression on someone. Whatever it may be, I just want you to begin bringing that into your attention. Keeping this disappointment, this setback in mind, we're now going to walk through the elements of self-compassion so that you can bring some kindness to yourself. Your goal will be to get better and better at this practice over time, being able to more readily give yourself compassion in the moment as you face disappointments or setbacks in the future. Focusing on the recent problem, I want you to notice what emotions have been stirred up inside you. During difficult times like these, we frequently feel guilt or shame, frustration, or even anxiety may come up for you as you think back to the situation. The first step in self-compassion is mindfulness of these negative emotions. So I want you to notice what emotions come up for you, allowing the emotion to be right here, not getting caught up in the thoughts or the experience of the emotion, but just letting it be here. Notice how the emotion or the multiple emotions feel in the body. Maybe it's a tightness in the chest or a sinking feeling in the stomach. Continue to attend to the emotion by labeling it, noticing it. Not getting too wrapped up in it or taken away by it, but just being mindful of it. Now that these difficult emotions are in our awareness, the next step in practicing self-compassion is called common humanity. This means that we really step back and notice our mistakes or setbacks as part of the human condition. Remind yourself, no human is perfect. In fact, being imperfect is what makes us all human, and it makes us all the same. These feelings of disappointment or failure are felt by all humans without exception. Take this opportunity to remind yourself that by having these feelings, you're not isolated. You're even more connected to your fellow humans than ever before. Continue to remind yourself, I'm not the only one who makes mistakes, who does things that I regret. Everyone does it, and that's okay. We're all human. Coming to the last step of our self-compassion practice, think about offering yourself some kindness. Our knee-jerk reactions when we make mistakes may be to self-criticize and feel judgment. But when we practice self-compassion or self-kindness, we focus on being more gentle with ourselves, less reactive. You might think about the kind of support you would want from a loved one or a friend, or the way that you would react to someone that you care about who's experiencing a disappointment. Offer yourself words of encouragement or support. You might say, "This will be okay. I did my best." Take a moment to intentionally offer some words of kindness to yourself now, whatever words feel most helpful in this moment. As we bring this practice to a close, remember, we all have a little voice in the back of our head that pays attention to what we're doing and how well we're doing it. This voice can be critical, but even if we have good intentions, that critical voice wears on us over time. Since we're always going to have that voice, why not work on making it supportive, reassuring, and motivating? This is the goal of self-compassion. To first become mindful of the emotion, remind ourselves of common humanity, and then to offer ourselves some kindness in that moment. Bringing our attention back to the breath one last time. Breathing in and breathing out. This concludes our self-compassion practice.